Mrs. Schneider. I was so in love with Mrs. Schneider. I was a student at School 31. I was in 3B and she taught 3A across the hall. Looking back on it, maybe it was just the clothes she wore. She always, it seemed to me, had on a flowery dress with colorful shoes to match. Also, she had a funny way of talking. I think it must have been a Jersey accent. I'd never heard it before. You know, no R's at the end of the words father, mother, deliver, and oi instead of an R in the middle of words, foist, thoid, etc. As I look back, there were several teachers I was taken by, but Mrs. Schneider was the first, none before that. My first and second grade, and indeed my 3B teacher, attracted me not. Heck, they were really old. They must have been in their 60s. As we were coming and going in the hall, I would, at least a couple of times, catch her eye. She would always smile, but in honesty, she was always smiling. Then one day she wasn't there. It went on for days. There was a substitute that filled in for her. One day, Mrs. Klein told us that Mrs. Schneider had lost her husband in the war. It was in Europe, and he had been killed. She came back to school and began teaching again, and in January I was promoted to 3A and in her room. She was different now. She wore black or brown or blue. She didn't look up much and didn't smile. One day in the spring I came to class early and as it turns out was the first one to take my seat. She was there and not paying any attention to me, or it seemed to anything. There was a kind of blank look on her face. I slowly walked to her desk and told her I was sorry about Mr. Schneider. She thanked me and smiled a little bit, but not in the same way. She never would again.